Welcome back, guys, to another video in the channel. Today we're doing a Manchester City versus Arsenal post-match player rating review, and it was a very disappointing night last night for Arsenal. A 3-0 defeat at the Etihad Stadium, pretty much crushing all our top four hopes, because that performance showed that same old. You know, Arteta hasn't done much, and there is a lot of overhauling to do in the summer. And to be honest, I think it was one substitution that sort of changed the game. I think for the first 20 odd minutes, we did hold out the game very well. And I think we were playing a bit better than City. And then we just let them grow into the game. And then, you know, Pablo Mari got injured. Xhaka got injured first. But I thought the Xhaka injury wasn't too big. It wasn't too significant, because I thought Ceballos played really well when he come on. But the big change was when David Luiz come on for Pablo Mari. Now, that was absolutely, I don't know what Luiz was doing. Okay, let's just go on to the first goal. Now, Kevin De Bruyne, as always, puts a beautiful ball through. For any defender, that is a simple, just slide to the left, clear it. Slide to the left, clear it. Socrates would have done the same. I'm pretty sure Holding, Pablo Mari, Mustafi even would have done the same. But no, my name's David Luiz. I'm just going to slide my butt in the air, and it's going to go straight into Raheem Sterling's path. What are you doing? Have you got any sense of the pitch, any sense of positioning whatsoever? Absolutely stupid. What are you doing? Honestly, I don't care if he comes back to suspension. Just leave the club. 30th of June, your contract expires. Don't even go to the end of the season for his contract. Let him go after 2 weeks. I don't want him here. Absolute rubbish player. Goodness, everyone was hyping up, oh, he's the best defender in the Mikel Arteta. It wasn't Arteta's fault. He didn't start the game. Pablo Mari started the game. Luiz only had to come on because it was the next best choice they had. Because obviously Pablo Mari had to go off injured. So you can't really blame Arteta for that one. Again, injuries did force his hand a bit. You can't put it too much. I think looking at the starting lineup that Arteta went with, it was quite an energetic one. You could ask a few questions. There's a lot of questions you can ask. You know, it does seem like Ozil was going to be forced out. I don't see him staying beyond this end of the season, but I don't know how he's going to leave. I think Arsenal just think that they're not going to keep two players on high wages. They're not going to keep both Aubameyang and Ozil on 300 plus grand a week. I don't think that's going to work. So I think Ozil was being forced out. Another question is, where was Pepe in that game? I think we needed him. Yes, Saka did have the better hand over Mendy, but I thought Pepe just would have added a bit more flair to it, because the crosses that were going in, they were just getting dealt with because Walker was tucking in, so we couldn't make the most of it at all. We were rubbish in that perspective, and whatever we were trying just wasn't working. I think in the first 20 minutes, the idea was to try and sit back, counter-attack, which was working, and until Luiz came on, until everything started changing, because we had to change things because injuries. But I'm not going to blame it solely on injuries, because you can't do that. Second goal, oh my God, Luiz, absolute rubbish. I can't. I'm past ranting. I'm past it. Honestly, this guy, man. Oh my God. Positioning, simple defending, positioning. What are you taught? First things in defending. Position yourself to be able to win the ball. But no, Luiz positioned himself 5 yards ahead of everyone else. Balls goes over the top to Mahrez. Luiz knows he's been done by Mahrez down that right-hand side. No, he just has to barge in and kill Mahrez, and then he goes down for a penalty. And, you know, obviously you can't expect Leno to be saving penalties from De Bruyne, and De Bruyne scores. Can't do anything about that. Absolutely rubbish. Sackable offence there from Luiz. That was rubbish. Absolute trash. Absolute trash. Goodness. Third goal. Again, I put this one a bit on Mustafi, but again, it's 90 plus 1 minute. You know, we did have a 10-minute layoff on Eric Garcia's injury. So you can't really say much about that third goal. The game was over and done with. Second half was pretty pointless after that third goal, because City had put the game to bed and there was nothing else to play for. So, yeah, game over. same old Arsenal, same story. So let's go straight into the player ratings. In goal, Bernd Leno. I think he saved us the game, to be honest. He was the player. He was Arsenal's best player. Any other player you could give a shout for is Tierney, possibly. Bellerin, I'm not sure. But Bellerin did get exposed later on in the game, but I'll talk about that in a second. But for Bernd Leno, some of his saves that he kept us in the game with, I'm going to give him an 8. I can't give him any more than an 8 because he did concede 3 goals, and even though they weren't his fault, he did concede 3 goals, so you can't really give him more than an 8. On the right back, Hector Bellerin, I thought the first 20 minutes where we had that shape, the lineup we started with, we could actually beat City with that lineup. I think we could have. It was a lineup that we could hold and contain City with. I thought Arteta had gone with the right plan. At the start of the game, like before the game, when the lineup came out, I thought, what is he doing? And then when the game starts developing, the first 5-10 minutes, I thought he was doing the right thing. And Bellerin was integral to that because he was keeping Raheem Sterling out the game, which was very good. He was getting him every single time. And when the change is made, when Luis come on, Ceballos come on, there wasn't much problem with Ceballos. I think it's just he plays differently to Xhaka, so things do change. But for Hector Bellerin, he did keep getting exposed a bit later in the half, so I'm going to give him a 6 for that performance. Centre-backs, Mustafi, he was fault for the 3rd goal, but other than that, I thought he had a really good game. He kind of kept out anyone else. I think he kept out Jesus, to be honest. He didn't really have a sniff, and he kept out Aguero when the time came as well. So I thought Mustafi had quite a solid game. There isn't much to say about him, so I'm going to give him a 6 as well. I'm going to give Mustafi a 7. And next to him, Pablo Mari. I'm not going to give him a rating, but I thought if he played the whole game, I thought he would have been amazing. He was playing so well, and he was keeping out of City, and I think he would have for the whole game. So I can't really give Mari a rating. Left back Kieran Tierney, he did play the whole game, I do believe, and I thought he was really good. I thought he was one of our best players. Outfield players, I thought he was our best outfield player because he did try and make things happen down that left-hand side. He was keeping the ball, he was moving it around, he was doing all the right things. But when you have clowns like Luis next to him, you're going to get exposed. Simple facts. So I'm going to give Kieran Tierney a 7. In the midfield, Matteo Guendouzi. Now, I thought he was one of our best midfielders. Again, it wasn't a bad performance. I think it was just individual mistakes cost us again and again. And obviously, if City going to be 2 up, they're just going to pass it around and kill the game off. Matteo Guendouzi was one of those players that I thought did stand out, and I was surprised that he started because he did have some disciplinary problems, and I think Arteta just put it past him and started him because he probably looked good in training or something, and I think it paid off because I thought he did quite well. So I've got no problems with that at all, and I think I'm going to give Guendouzi a 7.5. I can't give him any more than that because City did boss that midfield in the second half, so I can't really give him more than that. In the players next to him, I'm going to give Granit Xhaka. Again, can't rate him. Ceballos did come on, we'll get onto that. And Joe Willock was also next to him. Joe Willock did obviously come off 67 minutes, but we'll get onto that in a sec. But Joe Willock, I thought he had an average game. He wasn't amazing. He was okay. He did things. And again, when you have likes of David Silva, you can't really make things happen. I thought he uses energy in some places, nice to drive the ball. I thought he looked better, but again, going to make things happen. I think he was playing a too deep role. So I'm going to give Joe Willock a 6. The 2 in front of them, Bukayo Saka, I thought he played really well down the right side. I thought he had the better of Mendy for most of the game. And Saka did put some really good crosses in, I thought. Again, I don't know what happened to Aubameyang and Nketiah. They couldn't get anything. I didn't see Aubameyang the whole game. It was crazy. I don't know what's going on. But for Saka, I'm just going to give him a 6. I thought, again, there's nothing. Arsenal didn't have too much going forward. No shots on target. That says it all, to be honest. Next, Saka, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Now, again, I didn't see him the whole game. I didn't see him. I don't know how many touches he got in the whole game, but I didn't see him. I don't think he come off either. Yeah, he stayed on for the whole game, which I think he should have come off because the dead and buried. I think he needed to play against Brighton at the weekend. But again, you can't really say much too much when you have such idiots behind you. But I'm going to give Aubameyang a 5. Can't really give him much more than that. Nketiah, he was good on the ball. He wasn't terrible, but his finishing, oh God, some of the finishes were not good. He did look good in form in training and the pre-match warm-ups and that, in the friendlies and Charlton, Brentford. He looked good, but in this one he kind of looked out of his depth. In the first few minutes when we had a chance, and Nketiah was through, and Nketiah didn't know he was offside, but that finish was dreadful. I thought for a second he knew, but then I realised no, he didn't know that it was offside, and then he kind of really messed that shot up. But again, if he was, let's say it was a close one, and Nketiah scored it, then he could have gone to VAR, maybe something happened, and he could have got the goal. But unlucky there from Eddie Nketiah, so I'm going to give him a 5.5, to be honest. Can't really do much more for him, too much more justice. So let's get on to the substitutes. Dani Ceballos came on for Granit Xhaka, and I thought Dani Ceballos was good. He did his work, he played the ball around, twisted around, he did as much as he could. So I'm going to give him a 6.5. David Luiz, oh God. 0. At 0. No explanation needed. 6-7 Ainsley Maitland-Niles, come on, again. Didn't do too much to change the game. The game was dead and buried anyway, but we did concede a goal after that anyway. He did come off for Matteo Guendouzi, so I'm going to give Maitland-Niles a 5. Lacazette, again, I don't think he did much in the game, so I'm not going to rate him. He didn't do much either. I know they came on the same time as Maitland-Niles, but I thought Maitland-Niles did a bit more on the ball. Reiss-Nelson also come on in that same time, and he didn't do anything either. So I'm going to give Reiss-Nelson a 5. He came on for Joe Willock. Manager rating, again, I thought this lineup could have been better. Maybe could have been better, but I thought the way we started suggests Arteta was right with the lineup, and then obviously injuries sort of forced our hand, but I'm not going to blame him entirely. I think Luiz did come out to Sky Sports and he did say things like, oh, it was my fault, and then he said stuff about his contract, but he wasn't too... I don't know what he was trying to say. It was a bit confusing what he was trying to imply, but I don't know if he's going to leave or not, but we'll have to see about that. So there are my post-match review player ratings. Today also we'll have the Brighton game out, the Brighton review. What is it? The predicted lineup for the Brighton game. Again, it's going to be hard to do a Brighton predicted lineup because I don't know what injuries have forced our hand, and I just have to sort of do it based on I don't know what. But we'll have to see, and thank you guys so much for watching this video. Arsenal should be doing much better. City were just better than us, to be honest, and you can't really do much more than that. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.